Alright, so look, man. Now, Usher Raymond's ex-wife, Tamika Foster, started a petition to drain, clean, and restore certain areas of Lake Lanier. Now, this happened on her son's anniversary death date. He actually died in the lake. He was hit by a jet ski while swimming in there. I think he passed away a few weeks after that. And of course, that was due to the injury. And to honor his memory, that's why she started this petition, in hopes of cleaning up the area, enforce more rules and regulations to prevent other situations like her son's to happen in the future. Now, if you're not familiar with Lake Lanier, the biggest lake in the state of Georgia, man-made, and it was built to provide water and power for the surrounding counties. And it's a very popular spot to visit. People go there and visit, have a good time, drink, hang out with friends, jet ski. But everyone that goes out there, they don't necessarily have a good time. And just like Tamika Foster's son, a lot of people have died at this lake. The history of it is crazy. Since the 1950s when it was built, reportedly it's collected over 600 deaths. Over 600 people have died at this lake. And a lot of people say it's because the lake is cursed. As I stated earlier in the video, Lake Lanier is 100% man-made. They actually made the lake on 3 cities. So there's literally 3 cities underneath this lake. An entire infrastructure. You got concrete still down there, roads, a few bridges are still under there. Hell, they even have a racetrack underneath this lake. And of course, if there are 3 different cities that this lake was built on, it had to be people living in the cities, right? Exactly. You had Oscarville, which was a predominantly black community, was a thriving community full of carpenters, locksmiths, bricklayers, and farming. During the time when the rest of Georgia was struggling, this small community of Oscarville had miraculous farming growth. Like they was legit doing their thing. But in 1912, a 19-year-old white woman, she was found dead in the woods near Oscarville, allegedly after being R-word. And of course, without any proof at all, the black people were going to be blamed for it. I mean, seriously, this was 1900. So that same night, a group called the Night Riders, they pulled up throwing firebombs in churches, just straight up trashing the place, and that allegedly drove out the black community, forcing them to relocate. In the 1940s and 50s, the U.S. government acquired 56,000 acres of land, and that was in Dawson, Forsyth, and another town called Hall. Those 3 towns, along with Oscarville, that is Lake Lanier. They flooded out all 4 of those places. And now we have what we know as Lake Lanier. And rumor has it, everybody from Oscarville didn't quote unquote relocate. The people who refused to leave, they got flooded. And their remains are still down there probably to this day. And that was a big deal because, again, this was a striving black community. Kind of reminds you of something like Black Wall Street. How every time something like this happens, where you hear about a collective of black people like striving, it always results in an ugly ending like this, where the community was snatched away from them. And that's why people think that this lake is quote unquote haunted or cursed, because it's literally a community of deceased people underneath the lake. Their homes, their pets, the church they used to go to, the roads they used to walk down, all of this is underneath Lake Lanier. And those trapped souls are what's causing all of these deaths, if that's the type of stuff you believe in. And I will add this. This lake was also built on top of a sacred Native American burial ground. And they do claim that they removed all of the bodies before starting the construction of Lake Lanier. But to be honest, man, you never know. I don't play with spirits and stuff like that, especially Native American. And y'all built this lake on top of a burial ground for Native Americans. And then on top of that, over 600 people died at this lake in the last 73 years. Y'all built the lake on top of a striving community that was already established. Like, that's enough for me right there. I'm good. You won't catch me at this lake. But also, I can't sit here and say these deaths happen because of a curse. Now, it is creepy, don't get me wrong, but I'm also a realist. And it brings me back to Usher's ex-wife. Her son died because of a jet ski. This is a vacation spot. Half of these people are drunk. I just think irresponsible people plus man-made lake, it just doesn't mix well. And all 600 of these deaths, they could just be accidental along with her son. Is this something that more lifeguards and rules can fix? Or is this lake just legit cursed, man? Y'all let me know. Nonetheless, I do agree with her. Enforce better rules and regulations. Maybe hire security to enforce these rules. I think that's it for this one, though. Catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone.